Welcome to the CrossFit Max podcast.
What is going on, beautiful people? Hope you're having an amazing day. If you are in the Montreal area, I have officially signed up for the Beneva 10K race on October 10th, and I would love to do the race with so many other people. There is Montreal race weekend where they have the 5 and the 10K on Saturday, October 10th. And then they have the half marathon and full marathon on the Sunday. But I signed up for the 10K. I'm going for a hard push. I have a hard goal of sub 45 minutes in that race. And I would love to be motivated and go throughout this process with so many of you. So if you're thinking about doing maybe your first ever 5K run or even your first ever 10K, or you just want to see what are the limits, how fast can I do these runs, then sign up for the Beneva 5 or 10K race on Saturday, October 10th. I have no affiliation with them at all. I just want to kind of create a community of people to go to this event and hit it. So with that being said, we hope to see you at the race, and we hope that you enjoy this episode. Let's get to it. Okay, 3, 2, 1, we in it.
To win it.
What's going on, folks? You got Susie and Brandon here.
Welcome back.
Two favorite podcast hosts in your favorite podcast of the week.
Happy Wednesday, folks.
Happy Wednesday. Actually, if you are listening to this on release date, it is technically Canada Day that we're dropping this. So, happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day, folks.
Canada Day, eh?
Hey, we're killing it in the World Cup.
Hey, that's a good segue right into it. We are definitely killing it into the World Cup, and Morocco beat the Netherlands last night. So that means Canada plays Morocco in the next game, which is probably next week.
Okay.
Which is kind of exciting because it's like Morocco is a good team, but it's not like
The best
France or Argentina or like one of those top teams. So there is a chance Canada does make it to the World Cup. And that's probably not a chance they make it to the actual World Cup, but pretty freaking cool that they've they've made it to the round of 16. What'd you say?
Never say never, and they're killing it.
They are killing it. Yeah. Hopefully
Go
you guys
Canada,
are enjoying the World Cup. A lot of exciting action. I really haven't watched that much.
I'm not a Canadian, but like I love that for you guys.
I remember when I was younger, I used to love watching the World Cup.
Really?
Yeah, back when you
Big soccer guy?
Back when you had cable TV.
No.
Yeah, I used to love watching the World Cup, and one of my favorite video games to play was actually FIFA.
I see. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. It was,
now I'm connecting the dots.
I also like going to the arcades and playing like the FIFA. I'd always pick Brazil. Brazil was always the favorite team. You had
like
Ronaldinho.
Which is the hottest team? Like the most attractive? Probably Brazil, I guess.
Well, I guess that's subjective. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Depends which you're...
I want to go for the hottest players.
I'm just thinking of all like the Brazil guys right now.
I feel like I don't even know how they look like, but I'm just assuming. Like I feel like Brazil sounds like it's got the smoke shows on the team.
Who knows? I guess. I guess the color of my skin is not the right color for you, my love. But yeah, so hopefully you guys are all enjoying the World Cup.
Happy
Canada.
birthday, Canada.
Happy birthday. I don't even know how many years, but it's past the 150 for sure. It's got to be getting close to the 160 mark, which is exciting.
Canada?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. What did you think, myself?
The World Cup. I didn't know.
The World Cup. I don't know how many World Cups there have been, but anyways, hopefully you guys are enjoying the soccer, or as your parents would say, the footy.
The footy.
But
is
yeah,
Australia playing? Nah, they suck at soccer.
They are. Yeah, they were in. I don't know if they made it. I don't think they made it to the next round. No, maybe they did, but to my knowledge, they did not.
I don't think they're like soccer players.
No, they are rugby players.
Beer drinkers for sure.
Beer drinkers.
Coffee drinkers.
Very, very, very big coffee guys and gals. But yeah, not super great at soccer. But I mean, they were in the World Cup. I don't think they made it to the next round. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they did not. Well, yeah. banter topic. That was kind of a mini little banter topic here. Banter topic, my love, is I wanted to ask you.
Oh no.
If you ever question yourself in workouts.
Never.
Question your abilities to do workouts.
No, I'm super sure of myself all the time.
Let's get serious, my love. Tell us
of
in the brain.
Of course I
what
do.
Goes on.
Well, when the going gets tough. What do you mean?
Yeah, go. Continue. I was wondering if you actually if you do ever question yourself, like your ability to push harder than you think, or like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish this workout, or am I going to stop this workout short? Yeah,
I feel like the workouts that are tough, or on days where you are finding it tough, you know, when you're exhausted or you're really hot or you're really tired or you didn't sleep, and then you're trying to tackle a tough workout, and maybe something that normally feels within your capabilities doesn't feel within your capabilities. For sure there's like a little bit of negative self-talk that happens of like, did I lose all my fitness? Can I finish this workout? Can I keep going? I feel like even not that long ago, I can't remember what it was. Remember we had a workout not that long ago, and I was like, I have never wanted to give up so bad in a workout.
So you do experience that. Someone who's a high-level athlete does question themselves.
But yeah, it happens. It happens. I don't know, fairly regularly.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't stay in the negative mindset for so long most of the time. But it happens fairly regularly that I'm like, I going to
Are you
get
suffering
to the end?
Or you want to like stop? Yeah.
Both.
Yeah?
I like suffering, so it's not that I don't find that as big of an obstacle, because I'm able to kind of rationalize that I enjoy suffering a little bit. Don't we all? Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
But I definitely have like workouts where I'm like, I just want to stop. I just want to give up. I definitely have a mindset sometimes when you kind of hit a wall in a workout, or you know, your barbell gets heavy or your gymnastics get tired and you're kind of like stuck in a movement. And then time just starts slipping away and you're like, I'm never going to move on. I'm going to be at this pull up forever.
When you say regularly, how often is that? Like, what does that mean? Like every workout, once a week, once a month?
Maybe like once every couple of weeks.
Every couple weeks?
Yeah, maybe not so regular as in like daily or weekly.
Yeah.
But not so few and far between. Like I wouldn't say more. I would say like monthly maybe, where you have like a day where you're like, oh,
yeah,
why do I do this? This is so hard. And then you get in a negative spiral. Or, you know, for me, for example, the bar muscle up, it's like one of those movements that I get it a lot of the time, but not all the time. And then if I don't get it, I get really upset and it really triggers me.
You're about to do a workout with bar muscle ups too after this pod.
But I'm going to be unsupervised. So.
Okay, so it does happen.
Yeah.
The reason I asked you that is
Tell me more.
Because in my run today, I was questioning every part of my life.
Yeah, that happens. Tell me about your run. But it was hot today.
It was hot, yeah.
You went at like
I finished it
late morning.
I finished it 4 hours or almost 4 hours ago, and I feel like I'm still sweating and I'm still just struggling to recover from it. It was 11K run.
11K, that's the longest run this season?
I did 11K last week as well.
And how did it feel last week?
Last week it felt very good. This week, I think it was like this week, lack of sleep, stressed for time, lots on my mind. There was a lot of things going on, and then I had to be back at the gym for a certain time because I had to coach the next class. So it was just hard to
you were squeezing
zone
it in
out
today.
And just try to focus on just having fun. But yeah, I was questioning so many things.
Was it like a physical pain?
Yeah, I think I was just sore. Like last week I had a big week of training, did 6 days, lots of volume, and Sunday rest. And then yesterday we had a pretty heavy leg session where I pushed pretty hard because one of my goals is to just grow these freaking legs and get these legs stronger.
They're looking
So we had
grown.
some split squats yesterday. So I really, really pushed the weight. I was able to do 4 split squats at 235 per side. So I was pretty pumped about that.
Damn.
But yeah, feeling sore. You know, Tommy waking up freaking early this morning. And just a combination of so many different factors. when I was running, I was questioning whether I should run or whether I should wait for after because of the time. And I was like, no, just get your shoes on. Just get your shoes on. But yeah, and then during
Did you
the
have
run,
a good playlist going?
I kind of did. I ended up like
You were too
wanting
rushed.
to play a DJ's live set, and it wasn't
As good as you were hoping.
no, it was good. It just wasn't working the way I thought it. I thought it was going to be a full set, but it ended up stopping and then playing like random, like Lady Gaga popped on at one point.
Oh,
and I was
that's
like,
unacceptable.
what? Yeah, I was like, what is going on right now? So, anyways, it wasn't working out. I ended up switching it back to a playlist I knew. But it just one of those runs where I was questioning things, and for me, it doesn't happen that often. It doesn't happen that often where I just wanted to quit. And also, my run didn't end exactly at the distance, so I had to run past my final destination.
Oh my God, that is
circle.
the absolute. That is the
Yeah.
most mentally tough thing to do ever.
So I was like, I can just cut it at 10.
No.
I did 11 last week when I was supposed to do 10, so maybe I can just do 10 this week when I was supposed
Yeah,
to do
that's not
11.
how that
And then it
Good
was
for you.
really hot. It was like 30 degrees, sun beaming down on me. So when I finished the run, clouds covered the skies. It got all shady and stuff, and I was like, what the hell? But this morning it was really, really sunny, and yeah, so just some insight for those of you guys who go through this and go through the mental battles of like whether or not I should work out or whether or not I should, push in this workout, or do I want to quit and call this workout?
But I
it
feel
is
like
what it is,
arguably
But
these are the best days.
yeah, exactly. I tell myself the days you don't want to work out and then you go and work out are the days you get way better. And
The follow through
yeah.
of like not wanting to, doing it anyways, maybe it not going exactly the way you wanted, but like the growth and the like development of the mental toughness, and also just like the belief in yourself that you're like, I'm somebody who like shows up for my commitments is like massive.
Yeah. So just an FYI, your coaches have this too. Because
I'm fearful it's about to happen to me as well.
it doesn't happen often. For me,
For you,
it's
what's the frequency?
I mean, it's pretty rare to be honest. Like maybe once every few months, maybe once every few months.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I
happen
feel like
as
you're
often.
more rational than me. I'm a little bit harder on myself.
Well, I'm definitely hard on myself. Like I've worked a lot on like negative self-talk, but for me to like really quit on a workout or to cut it shy, like I have to be in a pretty.
But you didn't do that today.
Did do it, but I wanted to.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like I think I want to in my brain often, but I don't. I think maybe like once in a freaking blue moon do I ever actually quit or cut the workout.
Yeah.
And usually it's because I'm actually unwell or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very rare that happens. But yeah, I just wanted to give some insight. And, like some people are newer listening to the podcast, and some people have been doing CrossFit for a few years or getting into running and stuff. And, these demons that you have within sometimes get a little bit louder, and you just got to tuck them away. Shut up. I'm going to keep going. Keep moving. One step, one foot in front of the other, one deadlift at a time, one pull up at a time.
Massive win.
Yeah, huge win. Yeah.
When you do tuck away the demons.
Yeah.
It's a win for the Angels today, guys.
Yeah. So I got my workout done. Hopefully you listeners got your workout done or on your way to maybe go do your workout. Susie's about to hit her workout after this pod.
All by myself.
Solo. She's doing a 25-minute AMRAP all by myself.
Fudge. And there's bar muscle ups in it.
Bar muscle ups. I'll just watch you. See if you're going to let the demons come out or not.
If you watch long enough, you'll see the demons, love.
First round, second round. What are we talking here?
Honestly, with bar muscle ups, I actually usually get better.
Get better? So I should really pay attention at
First
the beginning
round.
to see if the demons are out. All right. I'll take a quick little peek over there from the office. Ooh. There's the wifey. Oh, she's getting over the bar. All right. Oh, look at those deadlifts. All right.
I'll give you something to look at, babe.
Okay, let's get into our topic of conversation for the day. We are talking about some of the biggest mistakes that young adults in their 20s make around life, finances. No, I'm just kidding. We're talking about kind of health and fitness for all the mistakes.
It's better to get Botox early before the wrinkles set in, guys. But anyways, that's besides the point.
We're talking health and fitness, of course. But, we are now officially past our 20s.
I don't want to talk about
Susie's been there for, it's been like almost a year and a bit now since you were in your 20s. How old do you feel right now?
Way less old than you. Plus, I get Botox, so I don't have a single wrinkle on my face.
I think it's my birthday in 4 weeks.
What are you going to be, 34?
33.
33. I knew that.
33.
I just, in my head, you're so much older than me. And every time I realize you're not actually that much older than me, I'm always surprised.
2 years.
So you're going to be 33.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we're out of our 20s, and we're going to talk about some of the biggest mistakes either we made in our 20s around health and fitness,
or we see people making. And, yeah, I kind of just was thinking about this stuff, and I was like, you know what? There's a lot of people that are kind of going through this period of life, and in their 20s, there is such a massive change in direction in where your life heads after that. Because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's fair to say that in your 20s, there's the most amount of change in your life. Would you say that? 20s and 30s, maybe? For most people, I would say on average in their 20s, because like if
they go from school,
living in Salt Lake City, it's 19.
They go from like education, school stuff to career. And then that career dictates a big chunk of the rest of their life. And then they also potentially find a partner and find, some people have kids in their 20s.
I was in my 20s when we had Tommy.
You sure were. So some people get married, some people have career changes, some people have kids, some people start businesses. Like there's so much
crazy
change that goes on in your life in your 20s, and you're also maturing so much in that decade.
I feel like you're really laying the foundation of your future.
Yeah. For real. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. So
your 20s, habits, your finances, your everything is getting, nothing is set in stone in your 20s, but you're setting yourself up. Your building blocks are being laid.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're listening to this podcast and you're not in your 20s, well,
give up now.
Totally fine. Might as well. Yeah, just call it in.
Just give up now. You're probably too old to do CrossFit anyways.
Your life sucks now. All of us in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and on.
The prime is over.
The prime is done. You should just call it. You were just listening to podcasts now.
Join a chair yoga class and
chair yoga.
Wait to be rolled into your home.
Yeah. So
follow me for more tips.
I feel like, I don't know if you can agree with this, but I feel like when I finished, so I'll say this, when most people, when they're younger, not most people, I don't want to say most people, a lot of people when they're younger, they play a sport, especially like later into their teens. They have some sort of sport that they're playing, whether that's basketball, like I was playing in volleyball, or hockey, or they're cheerleading, or they're dancing, or they're doing water polo and swimming. Usually kids play some sport. Hopefully they do at least. And then what happens is they finish it they finish their school. They also finish playing sport. And then I got to see a lot of this from my friends where they just stop doing physical activity.
Right.
And they can get away with this for a couple of years because they have this foundation of like 10, maybe a decade or more of playing sport where they're quite active. I had surprisingly a lot of people around me that did like a lot of swimming. So there was a lot of people that had like really high metabolisms because they were in, they would do training 4 or 5 times a week.
Right.
6 o'clock in the morning, they're in the pool doing laps and stuff. And like swimming is very cardio heavy. So there was a lot of people that I grew up around who played all these sports. And then I started this thing called CrossFit, which no one really knew about at the time. Dude. And then they saw me posting about it and they're like, this guy's crazy. And
it also
meanwhile,
had a different reputation back then.
Yeah. But I still think similar reputation right now. Still, if you tell a lot of 20-year-olds
CrossFit
that you're doing CrossFit, a lot of 20-year-olds would be like, whoa, that's like really intense,
right?
Which is so far from the truth. But anyways, so a lot of people will kind of stop playing their sport. And then when I started doing CrossFit, some people started gyms but weren't really active. And then, they got into their careers and had started having desk jobs, and then stopped playing sports, and then got unhealthy. And in your 20s, there's also this era of partying and going out
at least
more.
When we were in our 20s.
True.
Kids
true.
these days don't drink like we used to.
Yeah, it's true. The next generation apparently doesn't party as much, but
they still do, though.
They still do, yeah. And yeah, so I kind of got to see that, like, the people around me get less and less active, deeper into their careers, stop playing any sport that they used to play and loved. I saw a lot of people like really gain a lot of weight. A lot of people that I knew were very fit and very lean in school, and I'm talking about people that I knew for like 20 years and then became adults and then suddenly just put on like a ton of weight,
right? And
just stopped all activity. And it was definitely interesting to watch, and it was, sad to watch someone go through that process here. And then on the flip side, I also felt very judged from a lot of people, like, oh, that guy's doing CrossFit, like, what a weirdo, That, at least that's the interpretation I got from a lot of people.
Right. Which is ironic.
Yeah.
You were the weird one.
Yeah. And yeah, you go out, you drink more, you're partying more, and I did all those things in my 20s, but I also stayed relatively active. And then what happens, and I'm kind of seeing like a full circle moment.
They're all running marathons now.
Yeah, a lot of people in their 30s.
Doing Hyroxes.
A lot. It's a good thing. I'm starting to see a lot more like 30-year-olds, and now like a lot of 40-year-olds as well, really get into CrossFit, really get into Hyrox, really get into running. A lot of my friends now are now getting into running, and it's been really cool to see them do that. Some of them have done like half marathons, some of them are just doing it casually, some of them are joining CrossFit-ish gyms, and it's just cool to see them kind of get back into it, and it's good to see that they're doing that in their 30s. And like
the process mentally is that like they've kind of finished the loop, like the unhealthy loop, and they're like, oh, I need to make a change.
Yeah, and you hope that they start to do that in their 30s, because they didn't do that in their 20s. Whereas
we're hoping.
Yeah, you're hoping. Most people in their 20s are setting the foundation and building the habits that are going to carry over for the rest of their life, or for a big part of their life. So oftentimes a lot of people build those bad habits in their 20s and then are stuck with that for decades.
It's so
to
hard
go
to
after
break
that.
habits.
It's very hard, yeah.
Good or bad.
So one of the biggest mistakes, I guess, I saw a lot of people make when they were really young, and I'm seeing a lot of people do that also right now in their 20s, is that they think they're too young to worry about their health right now. Because it is very hard. It is very hard as a 20-year-old to picture your health when you're 60, 70, and 80 years old.
Yeah, like you only have yourself to worry about. Yeah. You're not really thinking like about your future kids and your future grandkids and your whatever. I feel like that changes so much as you get a little bit older, and then once you do have kids, you really think about those things. But when you're in your early 20s, you're just like me, myself, and I. And when I go to bed, I wake up feeling rested, even if I got 2 hours of sleep. Yeah.
Like you go out.
Like you
just wake up in the morning
and recover so quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like I used to go to the club and then like go freaking yoga at 8 a.m. And now I need like 12 business days to recover from going to the club.
12 business days. Sorry, you have messaged Susie. She is not available for 12 business days. Oh, well, I know what Susie did yesterday.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, so I guess when they have that mindset, it is really tough. And it's really tough for 30-year-olds to think about this as well. But like one of my things when I first started like exercising was seeing people in my family be so unhealthy and deal with like major health issues.
Yeah.
And to me, the scariest place in the world is the hospital. Yeah, it's the scariest place. And if ever you've been there, like it just gives me chills just thinking about going in one. And like, Tommy's doctor is inside a hospital.
Yeah.
Just taking him to his to your doctor's appointment and like having to go through the hospital. I'm like, just yuck. Like it's just a yucky place to be in. You want that to be like a last resort for like if you really need
like a
to
lifeline.
go. Yeah. Versus like a lot of people rely on the hospital, which to me is like a scary thought. And we have friends that are in the medical system and they always talk about it just being overflown and like how hard our doctors and our nurses have to work and stuff. And like a lot of things that could significantly reduce the amount of people going into hospitals is health and fitness. And if more people focus on their health and fitness, our hospitals and our doctors wouldn't be so flooded and overworked.
Right. Now,
there's a difference between I fell, broke my bone versus like, I'm having like heart issues right now, right? And a lot of people are having heart attacks, and one of the main killers in Canada is heart disease, and that is almost completely preventable by a healthy routine of exercise and a balanced nutrition and just being more mindful around your nutrition.
Yeah. So like we're not talking here about people who have like real medical issues that need, there are so many medical issues that are not related to your diet and exercise.
Yes.
But we're talking about
there's a majority of them that are right now.
Yeah. Even health issues that are not related to your diet and exercise are going to be well supported by a good diet and exercise.
Exactly. Yeah. So like the big thing that we're kind of talking about is the idea of prevention, right? Rather than like the instant gratification of exercise, right? Which, in this time and era where we have social media, where it's swipe, like, post, like everything is so fast and we just want instant gratification. Like we do have to think about like prevention in our future, right? And it's a scary place to have to rely on your doctor and have to rely on the medical system, especially the way the medical system here in Canada, especially here in Quebec, like
even if you have a doctor, you're lucky.
Yeah, you don't want that for your future, trust me. So that's kind of like one of the biggest mistakes that people make in their 20s, because it's hard to visualize that and just like, they're just focusing on like right now. They're thinking about like the things that are going to happen today and tomorrow versus the things that they should be thinking about in 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now.
Also, I feel like it's like weight gain and becoming like unfit and stuff. Like often people are living like under their parents' roof a little bit longer nowadays, just like the cost of living and everything. So maybe in their early 20s, they're still living at home. They're still like somewhat supported, like their decision making is somewhat supported by their parents. If they played sports when they were in their teens, they're still riding the coattails of the fitness that they gained throughout their childhood and their teenagehood. Yeah. And it takes a little while for that to catch up when we like stop or when we move out and we start feeding ourselves and we're not thinking about our protein intake and we're not maybe buying the same things that our parents buy for their groceries. And then all of a sudden, it takes a little while for it to catch up, but then all of a sudden, like it's like a snowball effect and it gets a little bit out of control a lot faster, and it's a lot harder to like course correct.
Yeah.
Once you've started going so far off course.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of that transition starts to happen in your 20s, and then it's only until later in your 30s when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm 40 pounds heavier. Yeah. I have no fitness regime. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I used to always be active. I haven't done anything active in 5 years. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like it's a very common, relatable story.
I mean, we hear that all the time. Yeah. Like, I haven't, I'm 35 years old and the last time I did anything physical was when I was playing team sports when I was younger, and that was half my life ago.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a
You just blink.
big thing to fight back from. But it's cool. We've had a lot of people do that here, and we've had a lot of people
Yeah.
get very fit making that
Yeah.
change, you know? So it's not like game over for you. You can really
No.
course correct, but it, like Susie said, it's a lot harder to do that.
Yeah, and I think also like in your 20s, it's so funny because I feel like I sound like the exact person that would have annoyed me in my 20s when I'm like, you have so much free time.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's probably one of the next things I wanted to talk about.
Okay,
Was like
do you wanna
like
just say
that
what you
second
wanted
like
to
big
say?
mistake where you're kind of leading in that direction here.
yeah, probably.
Where it's like you're in your 20s and you're going through this massive change, and 20-year-olds, I think, or young adults, I think, are finishing school, also working. Like they do overload their schedule.
Their schedules are crazy, yeah.
Like some people really, like, you know, we signed up a wonderful member, Paulina, yesterday, and she's like, yeah, like I'm doing a stage, an internship, and I'm kind of finishing my school, and I'm also working for this other company. And I'm like, yeah, like that
You have
sounds
a
like
lot
a lot
on your plate.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got a lot on your plate, girl. But a lot of people wait for like life to slow down, be like, okay, like now I'm really busy,
Right,
but like I'm gonna wait for
in the
life to slow down.
summer,
Yeah, like
yeah.
when my internship is done or when my schooling is done, or it's like, well, I promise you that this is now the future. This is life, right?
There's always
Like,
going to be something. It's
yeah.
never really going to slow down. It's just going to look different.
it's gonna look different. Yeah.
But that's kind of what I was I was heading there in my mind, was that I really like, there was something that would have bothered me so much if I was like a stressed out 20-year-old with a loaded schedule. If someone told me like I have so much free time, I'd be like, shut up.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly that I want to say, because it's true that right now you maybe feel the most busy because you have the most responsibilities that you've ever had.
Yeah.
But the responsibilities are only about to grow bigger.
Yeah.
And so I
You
feel
have to manage
like
them now. You have to learn how to manage them.
exactly. And I think that something to think about is that you have the most time now than you're ever going to have.
Yeah.
And if you learn how to make fitness and health and all of that a non-negotiable now in your schedule, it's actually not going to be so tough to manage when you are later in your 30s and 40s, when you do have kids' schedules running around. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, now I need to also not only add kids' schedule but add a fitness regime onto my list. It's just about like reworking your priorities. And if it becomes a priority in your 20s, you're setting yourself up for so much success.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was telling you before, the Alex Hormozy, which I freaking love that guy.
The
But
savage
the savage
quote.
things. Yeah, he's just
I mean, he's not wrong.
he does like a lot of social
Just not
content,
gentle.
and yeah, one of the things he was saying is like, you know, like I've had a lot of buddies in my 20s and 30s tell me that they like don't have time for like fitness and stuff, and he's like, he's a really freaking busy dude. Like he's grown multiple companies and he's very, very successful.
Right.
And he's made the time to work out. And he's just like, dude, if you tell me you don't have the time to work out in your 20s and in your 30s, just accept that you're never going to work out for the rest of your life, because you're never going to have more time in your life than right now.
Yeah.
And although that's such like an extreme thing, and it's
Yeah,
a very
that's
like
very savage
He's like,
way
hey,
of
it's fine
saying.
if you don't want to work out. You don't have to work out, but just accept to yourself. Don't tell me that you don't have time to work out. Just accept that you're just never going to work out. Like it's just not going to happen in your life. If right now you're telling me in your 20s and 30s that you don't have time to work out, it's just never going to work out for you. You know, it's just
Yeah.
you're never going to make that time.
Yeah,
right?
I think the like mindset there is the point being in that is that if you don't start making the time,
Yeah.
and you don't accept that it's up to you to make the time, then it's
And
never going to work out for
Yeah,
you.
and if you don't set it as a priority for yourself during this, like people in their 20s really load up their schedule.
For sure.
But that being said, a lot of what they loaded up with is very flexible. Like
Yeah,
it's
like
very flexible.
socializing.
Yeah, like usually you get a job that it's quite flexible. Like usually you're kind of putting in hours that you're kind of requesting, or you're taking shifts here and there from people, you know, colleagues and things like that. You're taking on maybe a second job because you want to make some more money. You're starting a side hustle, a new business, or you know, you're working social media. Like a lot of kids right now are like working their social media, and that's great, you know. That's the era that we live in, and that's, you know, there's a lot of money to be made and stuff, but a lot of what they're doing is very flexible.
Mm-hmm.
versus when you start to get later in life, like you said, like you get a partner in life, a husband or a wife, and now you're like working with their schedule as well. So you got to kind of work together to create this schedule. And then you add in a kid or 2 kids or 3 kids. Now you're like, okay, now I got to figure out my schedule with my wife's schedule with my kid's schedule, and now I got to balance all of that. And like, let me tell you, when your kid wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's not like, I'll just snooze the alarm and just call it. Like, it's like, no,
they don't snooze.
You got to wake up and go. Like it's not flexible, that schedule, So there are certain things. And then like, the more you go into life, the more responsibilities and the more locked in you're going to be. Once you establish a business, then it's not like, I'm just going to get to 65 and retire. Like 65 is so far from now, like what you got to do is you got to really just start building the foundation and setting that as a priority. And then once it's a priority in your 20s, then now, like, to me, fitting in my workout routine is relatively simple. We have to make adjustments here and there, but I have a child, I have a business, and I'm not like, I'm so overloaded and I don't have any time to work out.
Super supportive wife.
Yeah, well, we're very supportive in that situation, because we're both
for sure.
we're both like understanding of that. And like,
if
you got a solo parent one night and I have to solo parent one night, like,
absolutely,
yeah, like that's just important to us.
Yeah, for sure.
Versus
absolutely.
Like, sometimes I'm like, why do both parents have to be home every single, like, why can't one parent just sneak out to the gym like in the afternoon on a Saturday morning? You're going to spend your whole time as a family together. Why can't, for an hour and a half of your day, one of those parents go to the gym on Saturday, 15-minute drive to the gym, 60 minutes, an hour and a half, like, then you're back home, and then you have the whole day. And guess what? On Sunday, dad's going to go instead of mom, right? And mom's going to be a solo parent for an hour and a half. Like, those are the types of things that you start to like kind of adjust into the schedule. But if you don't set it as a priority to you in your 20s, then in your 30s, that becomes so far-fetched to even think that you could do that.
That's because if it's not established, if a workout routine isn't established, then you're not only trying to add all the extra responsibilities that come with having a family onto your plate, plus it feels like you're also adding a whole other layer to it.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you're in your 20s, like, now is so the time to establish a really good routine, a really committed routine. I think that's something that is a little bit more common in people's 20s, is being a little bit more wishy-washy, like a little bit less. I also think like each generation has their different strengths and weaknesses. And I feel like the generation below us, even the millennials, I think, are known for this too. But like the Gen Z is very known for like being extremely flaky.
Yeah.
Like, even I work at a dental office, and like, if the patient is 20, I'm like, there's a 90% chance they're not coming.
Oh,
and
really?
they're never going to answer my phone call to tell me.
I've definitely noticed that with like a lot of like lead generation stuff. Yeah, no shows. Yeah.
And like,
well, like, I have
like a boomer would never.
Yeah.
A boomer would never,
Yeah.
They would call from their landline to let us know. But I'm just saying, like, I think that, there's this
flip phones.
Yeah. But this habit of not like committing as much, and then later in life you start to learn the value of commitment, and you want to give a good good foot forward, and you want to be the type of person that shows up for their commitments and stuff. And it becomes more important. But I think when you're younger, you're kind of like, don't feel the weight of the consequences of that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you are, like, I talk about this all the time, and I feel like so strongly about this. But if you are somebody who signs up and then like doesn't show up or cancels your workout last minute all the time, all you're doing, forget the gym, forget the fitness element. All you're doing is teaching yourself to have low self-confidence, because you're sending the message to yourself that you are not reliable. And so then internally, imagine yourself as your best friend. Every time you try and hang out with them, every time you want to see them, they cancel on you, or they don't show up and they don't communicate it, and all of these things start to happen. Well, you're going to be like, well, my best friend is not reliable. This is not a trustworthy, honorable friend. When you do it to yourself, you're sending yourself the same message. So it's like, if you want to build the best confidence and the like all of those things. Forget the actual fitness gains that come with coming to the gym. Like setting yourself the appointment and following through is telling yourself like, I'm reliable, I'm trustworthy, da da da. Obviously there's times and places and things that happen. Okay, you're not a bad person if you have to cancel a workout. Like, happens to literally everybody. But in general, if you're just setting yourself up for success and building that routine in your 20s, you're going to build such good self-confidence later. And then you're going to have a bigger like expectation of yourself, and you're going to have more self-confidence, and you're going to follow through more, and you're going to feel even better about yourself.
Yeah. Agreed.
I feel so strongly about that.
Yeah. I want to talk more about like stuff very specific more to like the fitness side of things.
Yeah.
I think a lot of 20-year-olds or young adults are also chasing the perfect body. And we've been talking about this almost the whole episode, rather than chasing or rather than building the habits that are needed for long-term success.
Yeah.
Right. And that kind of goes back to like the quick
instant gratification.
Instant gratification. That was the word I was looking for.
I knew it.
Versus like thinking about like, how am I going to feel in 3 years from now, in 5 years from now, in 10 years from now? Right.
100%.
And just really trying to like, versus trying to really like obsess over the scale, right? Like, oh, damn, I only lost 0.5 pounds this week.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, time out. If your goal is weight loss, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, how many workouts did you get in this week? Oh, you got 4 workouts in this week? Okay. Oh, wow. You were able to start drinking a little bit more water. As Susie pulls up her water bottle and starts drinking, you're able to drink a little bit more water. You carried a bottle with you around, so you're hydrated. Oh, wow. Because you were exercising more, because you were hydrating more, you decided to eat a little bit more vegetables at your meals. Oh, you also felt mentally better about yourself, right? So time out. You've all those things, you've nailed them. You're killing it. You're exercising, you're making the small changes outside in your lifestyle, and you just lost 0.5 pound. That's great. If you keep that up for the next 6 months, you're going to lose 10 pounds. Like, that's freaking great. If I told you in like 6 months from now, or if I told you 6 months ago you'd be 10 pounds lighter right now, would you have taken that if you just would have kept this up? And the answer is usually hell yeah. But a lot of times people see, oh, I worked so hard this week. I worked out 4 times, and those workouts were really hard, because they are. And I was eating more vegetables. I was drinking more water. Like, what the hell? I only lost 0.5 pound. I wanted to lose 2-3 pounds this week.
Right.
And it's like, I'm quitting. Like, that's it. Like, I'm giving up, or after 2 weeks, I only lost 0.5 pound or a pound, It's like, whoa, like, you're in the right direction. The needle is moving, right? Like,
I feel like the ability to zoom out and look at the big picture is like something that you're learning in your 20s.
Yeah. And like, you're just obsessing over like, oh, I don't see less fat on my body right now. It's like, well, hold on a second. Like, you just finished telling me about how happy you were with your partner at home. Like, you just like, your emotional health is very important. You just said that you have been like so much more happier at home. Like, you feel like you have more energy with your kids to play around with your kids right now. Like, these are all really, really awesome stuff. Or like, yo, I just crushed a workout, and then I got home. I was working on my side hustle for like 4 hours. I was dialed in. I was super productive, right? And like, all of those things have massive carryovers from exercise.
Right.
And you're like judging yourself because you're looking in the mirror right now. You don't see like a instant change in your body.
Do you
after
feel
like
you fell
4
victim
weeks.
to stuff like that?
Personally, myself?
Yeah.
Like, did I feel it? Yeah, for sure. Like, in my 20s, I wanted like quick results, like fast results. And I feel like that's
your
that's
motivation
normal.
in the gym was like, do you think more aesthetics than
like,
it is maybe now?
I feel like maybe that's like another like thing that we could chat about is like motivation. But like, yeah, for sure, there's like periods of time where you're just relying on motivation. Like, oh, I'm going to start this new program. Here we go. Motivation's at an all-time high. 2 weeks in, I'm not getting there's like instant gratification. Like, you know what? Like, this is probably not for me. And it's like, oh man, like if you just kept this up for another 2 weeks or another 6 weeks, and you just kept doing what you're doing, you're going to break some serious like boundaries that you didn't even know you had. Like you're gonna push your fitness to a whole new level. You're gonna start to learn a lot about your energy levels. You're gonna start to feel so much better in your skin. You're gonna build a ton of like self-confidence. You're gonna notice that stress and anxiety are down, because this is something that the new generation is really struggling with, is stress and anxiety, right? Like mental health is so huge, but you're like pissed off because you're looking in the mirror right now and you didn't like drop 5-10 pounds in a couple weeks. Like, whoa, freaking time out, and that's something that, I wish I had told myself when I was younger. It's like, hey, like the results aren't going to be instant. The results are going to take several weeks and several months. For yourself to notice, it's really going to take probably several weeks. But for others to notice, it's probably going to take even less time than that. And then when people start like commenting on you, you're like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Like you don't see a friend for like 4 or 5 months, and then you see them and they're like, yeah, what are you doing, Brandon? Like, you following a fitness regimen or something? Like, what's going on? Like, you're looking pretty jacked right now, dude. Like,
shreddy
steroids. No, I'm kidding. It's CrossFits, So that instant gratification, being patient, and not just obsessing over the perfect body of like what you might see in like six packs in magazines or athletes and things like that, but just focusing on building the habits that are going to help you for 3, 6, 9.
They're not looking at magazines.
TikToks, I guess. Yeah.
I'm like, Brandon, magazine. When was the last time you looked at a magazine?
It's so funny. They only said that because the other day we were at your parents' place and there was like a FIFA World Cup that I guess your parents were just all the teams and everything. And I was reading, it with Tommy, and there was this super shredded dude. I was like, damn, this guy is shredded. But that's like,
what's his regime?
Yeah.
That's why you're thinking about magazines. I was like, what do you mean magazines?
I saw his shredded six pack and thought, maybe I just need to play soccer. And I played soccer for one day and realized I didn't get an insane six pack, so I just quit.
Perfect.
But if I stayed with it for 12 months, who knows? Maybe I might look exactly like that dude.
Was he from Brazil? We love a callback. Okay, question for you. Or no, not question. Statement on this. I feel like, when you're in your 20s and 30s, at least my parents did a great job parenting. They talked about this sort of stuff with me all the time about like finances and about investing. And they're like, every dollar you invest in your 20s is worth, I don't know, like $80 or something when you retire. But every dollar you invest in your 30s is already like only $40. Like basically, there's just like the compounding effect of making really, really good financial decisions in your 20s is already like wildly better for you than like later even into your 30s and then your 40s and whatever, it goes down. Yeah, it goes down and significantly, very quickly, actually. Okay, I don't want to be dramatic about it because I feel like anyone should start fitness whenever and wherever and whatever. But like if we could all go back in time, I think everyone would agree that they would have started CrossFit in their 20s if they could have. Yeah. And the compounding effect of starting the CrossFit in your 20s is like so big.
Really good way of
putting it. And if you if you just stick with it, it doesn't have to be perfect. In your 20s, you have the least amount of money that you're ever going to have probably. And if you just invest a tiny small amount, it's worth so much more than twice that amount that you would invest in your 30s. It's like the same thing with the fitness. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be shredded. Just like keep it up, like go 2-3 times a week and just keep it up because the compounding effect of starting at that age versus a lot of people who start in their 30s and 40s, which is also equally amazing because you're never going to be younger than you are today. Yep. And today is the day to start.
Facts.
But I think any single person, especially our members who started in their 40s, would have been like, oh, what I would have done to go back in time and had started this in my 20s. Yep. So if you are in your 20s, keep it up. Don't stop. Like this is the time, and you don't want to end up in your 40s being like, dang, I wish I had kept this up.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. I think everyone would say that, I wish I started.
Like everybody wishes they started younger.
Yeah. I guess the last thing I just wanted to kind of touch on here, I mean, there's so many different things we can go on, but the last thing maybe for this podcast is, I was talking about social media and magazines.
Magazines.
But yeah, just comparing yourself to the socials.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah. And what I think a lot of people forget sometimes is that social media typically shows the highlights of things. It is a highlight reel. You're seeing the best angles of people, right? 100%. They're posing at the right angles. They're showing their best lifts. They're, showing their best moments. And
100%.
I think comparing yourself to social media could be a downward spiral.
A slippery slope.
And a mistake that probably a lot of 20-year-olds...
I feel like I make that mistake.
Yeah, for sure. But I would say like for 20-year-olds, it's probably a little bit extra. I know for me,
100%.
For like, I guess when I was in my 20s, Instagram, like early 20s, Instagram was starting to become an actual thing.
And the 20-year-olds now have had it since they were teenagers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And yeah.
They've been... I feel like this is a huge reason why mental health issues are so much more prominent.
Yeah.
Is because of this comparison cycle that we end up in.
Yeah. So it's like now there's literally influencers. Before it was like everyone just kind of posting. And also the thing about social media, especially for Instagram, I'm not sure how it works so much on TikTok, but Instagram...
I'm a TikTok sensation, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Susie's doing a pretty cool job on the mommy TikToks, yeah. But there's influencers now who make a lot of money, and social media wants you to stay on their platform. Their algorithm is created for people to stay on their platform. If you log off, like you're looking at a reel on Instagram and you sign off the application, like you come out of Instagram and close Instagram, the algorithm knows that and will push that content out less. So don't ever turn Instagram off after you look at CrossFit Max, please.
Just spend a lot of time watching our videos on loops, please.
So there are people who are making millions of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, even tens of thousands of dollars on social media who are influencers. And if you're getting paid to do this, and you're getting paid a lot of money to do this, then you're going to put in a much bigger effort into this, right? And you have to realize when you're looking at fitness content specifically, then you're going to see some pretty incredible bodies. And again, these people are getting paid lots of money to do this, or trying to get paid lots of money to do this. So this is now their career. This is now their profession. And unless you are getting paid for fitness, you shouldn't really focus about how you necessarily look while you're either doing CrossFit or your body image. For sure, there's a care that you might have, I do want to be a little bit leaner, and I maybe want to see some abs, or I want to see some arm or leg definition, things like that. And that's totally fine. And I'm always like, hey, if that's one of your goals, hell yeah, that's awesome. Do that.
Get after it.
But for you to get to the level of leanness that you might see people on social media, and if you're looking at that, you might be that's not me. I'm not that lean, so I can't do high
They're
rocks.
not that lean either. They're that lean for the photo shoot.
Yeah, there's that. Or they're just getting paid a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
And if you're getting paid a lot of money to do that, why would you not really focus and
very true? But I think a lot
fitness.
of the times, especially very lean people in fitness photo shoots, they're lean for the photo shoot, but they don't walk around like that 12 months a year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So just being mindful and trying not to compare yourself too much to what you see on social media. Oh my God, that person just lifted 200 pounds. I could barely lift 55 pounds. Why would I ever do CrossFit if a barbell is scary? It's
and there's just so much more that goes into it.
Yeah, there's so much more. There's such a massive confidence boost when I see someone lifting a barbell over their head and they're like, yeah, once they start to get it, cool. And you could see it in their face, you could see it in the way they present themselves after when they start to get comfortable with the barbell. It's such a really, really incredible confidence boost to that person's life, the way they walk around, the way they hold themselves. Just, it's so freaking impressive. And there's just something to say that when you're lifting a barbell, you just look fucking cool doing it. It's scary at the beginning, and there's a lot of technique that's required, but if ever I see some, like, you know, when we have Liz come in and take photos of people, and I see like photos of people lifting barbells, I'm like, fuck, that person looks so good. Like, it's so cool to see like every muscle in their body just like flexing hard to lift that barbell, because when you do barbell stuff, and especially in CrossFit, we do a lot of barbell stuff, like it requires your whole body to work as a system rather than just like one muscle group, right? You grab, like, you sit down and you do some bicep curls, like, yeah, your biceps are going to look pretty cool. What are your legs doing on that bench, right? Like, when someone's lifting a barbell, like every muscle in their body is being flexed right now to like work as a unit, to be one system to perform that repetition. And you look freaking cool doing it.
Absolutely.
So anyways, I forgot where we're going with this, but yeah, trying not to compare yourself to the social media that's where I was going with, like, the heavy lifts. You know, if you see someone do a heavy lift and be like, I'm never going to be able to do 300-pound clean and jerks, like, yeah, you don't have to. You might never do that, and that's totally fine. You might only do 100-pound clean and jerk, and that might be the max you ever do in your life. Yeah. But I promise you, there's going to be so much you're going to get from that. You know how many
people who are sitting in the waiting room at a dental office, at a doctor's office, waiting, hospital, like, wishing that they had been able to clean and jerk 100 pounds in their 20s.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's all perspective, and you have to remind yourself. And sometimes when we consume a lot of social media content, especially if you're starting CrossFit, then you start to get pumped out all this CrossFit content, and there's some sick content online, and I love it myself. But you have to like consume it with a little bit of a grain of salt, and being like,
allow it to motivate you.
That's a really good point. Like, allow it to motivate you without allowing, like, get in your head and bring in a negative mindset towards yourself. Because, okay, there's a million amazing 1%ers that you're seeing online, but also you're part of the 1% coming into a CrossFit gym.
Yep.
And remember that there are, you know, for example, my dad, he's a runner, and every time we see runners, you know, sometimes you see really beginner out there running, and my dad is always like, that person is so much freaking better than the thousands of people who are sitting on their couch right now.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you are amazing for doing it, and remind yourself of that, and get less concerned about trying to be, you know, the 0.01% that you see on social media.
Boom. Well said. Wow.
Compounding interest. Don't compare yourself. Start now. Stay at it.
Build habits. What you build now is going to change so much of your future, and you're going to learn a lot. The thing about fitness that I really like, maybe last thing, the thing that I love about CrossFit and fitness is it teaches you so many life lessons. Like, it teaches you to commit yourself. It teaches you to dedicate yourself to something. It teaches you to do something hard and then overcome that hardship.
It teaches you to follow through on your commitments.
It teaches you so many things that's not just going to carry over into the gym, but it's going to carry over into all of the things you're about to go through in life. Kids, relationships, career-wise, entrepreneurship, like finances. Like, there's going to be so many things you're going to learn. Relationships, right? Like, there's so many things that you're going to learn through CrossFit and through fitness. So your 20s are pivotal, years, and make them count. Don't look back in your 30s, 40s, and 50s and be like, damn, I wish I started in my 20s. Use them. All right, let's end the podcast with Client of the Week.
Pew, 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 pew.
This is one of our newer clients in the building who I have thoroughly enjoyed coaching over the last maybe 4 weeks, I would say. She has 2 young kids who she's being such a really, really awesome influence on. She's very active with them. She's a very cool role model. And that awesome new client is Cindy.
Yay! Way to go, Cindy.
So Cindy is one of our newer clients here, as I said, but she always brings so much smile, so much good energy. Her place got flooded last week from the major rainfalls that we had, so she's been grinding it and working hard and still showing up to the gym with a good attitude. And, you know, one of the things she said is like, coming to the gym is just relieving me of the stress of like all that stuff that went on in my home. So for all you guys out there who did deal with some flooding, I hope you guys are okay. I hope that, you know, whatever's to come next, it's as smooth as possible. And Cindy, thank you for just bringing in a fun energy. You're always laughing. You're always making jokes. You're always socializing with people. You're so friendly. And what I appreciate the most is like how much of a role model you're being towards fitness, or towards your kids around fitness, whether that's taking them for bike rides, whether that's, you know, just being outside and running with them. And, you know, it's freaking cool. And she's brought them to the gym a couple times so they can see, and it's really cool, especially for her kids are a few years older than Tommy. So it's always cool to see like, okay, how could it look for us in the future? So thank you, Cindy, for being so awesome.
You are amazing.
Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to this episode. If you haven't, make sure you give us a rating and a review, and we'll catch you in the next episode. See ya.
Bye.